Yogis, Tina here. If you're a subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. And if you haven't subscribed yet, the button is right down there below. Today I'm going to take you through a 20-minute flow designed to stretch the legs, specifically your IT band, the thing that runs down the sides of the legs. If you're not sure what your IT band is, I will surely get you into some stretches so that you know exactly where it is. We're going to start standing, warming up the body in preparation to then stretch the legs. So you'll come to the top part of your mat, and we're going to open with a chair pose. So you can start with hands at heart center and then bend into the knees. You should feel the toes be pretty light on your mat. Hug your navel to your spine, and then you can float the arms if you'd like. Find some deep breaths here. Tops of the legs starting to fire up, building some heat in the body. Stay with it. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take it a little bit lower. Inhale, straighten the legs and sweep the arms up. Again, exhale, pass through that low chair pose. And inhale all the way up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower chair, breathe deeply. And then take your forward fold. So separate the feet hips width distance or a little further. Bend the knees enough so that your hands are completely grounded. Now we'll take your right hand up to the small of your back. As you turn towards the right leg will straighten and the left knee will bend deeply. So in order to get to the outside of the leg, which you may or may not feel right now, take the inner arch of that right foot and peel it away from your mat. So you're just standing on the pinky side edge of that right foot. And if you're so inclined, the right arm can float. Now look down, hands to the mat, feet down, give a little shake. We'll take it to the other side. Left hand to the small of the back. As you turn left, that leg will straighten and the right knee will bend deeply. Getting into the IT band, it's the inner arch of that foot that you peel away from your mat so that you're just on the pinky edge of the foot and the left arm can float. Right hand is firmly pressing down, so don't forget about that arm or shoulder. Then you'll fold, hands and feet down, give a little shake, and then step back to your high plank pose. So we'll take a vinyasa. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And find some pedaling here, bending into one knee and the other. So you'll likely feel a stretch behind the leg, the calf, maybe even up to the hamstring. And then take a look forward, bend the knees, walk the feet to touch at the top of the mat, and take a fold. Inhale, we'll come all the way up to standing, reach the arms, and exhale, hands to heart. Let's take a sun A. Inhale, reach, and exhale, forward fold. Step back to find your high plank, and again, exhale, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. We're going to twist your downward facing dog. So let the heels spin over towards the right, and you're still pressing through the hands so the hips are high. Now if you bend deeper into that right knee and press straight that left leg, you may once again access your IT band. Heels back to center. Let's take it the other way. Heels spin to the left. Now you're bending into your left knee, getting space along right leg. Then back to center, look forward and walk the feet to touch. So now we're going to flip the palms up towards the ceiling and tap the fingers towards the thumbs. So giving a little release to your wrist. Then on your next inhale, we'll reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So from here, arms sweep up. The right palm will face the ceiling and the left hand is going to circle that wrist. Reach up, take a side lean left. Length along right side body. We're going to add on. Right foot can step off the side of the mat. And if you're so inclined for balance, you can flex the foot and the toes float. Now, as you come back to center, cross right foot over left and the hands to your hips. Now the feet can have some space between them, forward and side to side, and then have all 10 toes facing forward instead of pigeoning in on each other. Now we're going to bend into your right knee. Left hand draws left hip forward. It sometimes lags behind. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, we're forward folding. So if you have blocks or a stool or something out in front of you to bring the floor closer to you, great. Otherwise, you can tent fingertips down. So ideally, it's just the front right knee that is bent. And similar to what we've done before, you can take this back foot, your left foot, and float the arch away from the mat. That's your IT band. Now look down, bend the knees enough that your hands come down to the mat. Let's take a step back. Some of you might even jump and unwind the legs in the air to your plank. It would look a little something like this. Otherwise, just step back, find your up dog, and downward facing dog. Now let's walk the hands backwards to the feet. So feet are parallel, toes a little in. Take your peace fingers to loop your big toes. Now, if you can't reach the feet without having a bend in the knee, totally fine, bend your knees. Pull your heart forward and then fold. So we are looking to stretch the backs of the legs, but not at the expense of completely rounding the spine. So you can see how round my spine is right now, and it's not really doing much good for my back. So I'm going to pull my heart forward, shoulders out of the ears, and I can have straight legs, so my elbows are going to bend wide. Part B of this is to re-straighten the arms, lift the feet up and slide the hands underneath each of the feet. Again, heart forward, long spine, and fold. Look down, release your hands, bring them up to your hips, and let's return to standing. Feet a little closer together. Now inhale the arms up. Left palm to the ceiling, right hand circles the wrist, and you side lean right. Left foot can step wider, giving you some more space. And balancers, you float the toes. As you come back to center, cross the feet, hands to hips, and then set it up again. All 10 toes facing forward, make some space between the feet. Bend left knee, right hip forward, lift your heart, lean out to fold. Props or all the way down. And then taking it into the IT band a little further, lift the inner arch of that back foot away and release your head. And then inhale, look forward. So bend the knees enough. We aren't going to jump back this time. Walk the hands forward and then just unwind high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale up and exhale, downward facing dog. So now we'll come to sit. Getting into the outer hip part of the leg, take your left knee and kind of stack it on top of your right one. So the foot is not planted, it's just resting. You're working on knee to knee pose. This right here is your half Gomukhasana, fine place to stay. If you're able to take the right foot to the opposite side, you may do that. But just make sure the hips are even and that you're not lopsided one way. Take a hold of the feet if you've got both feet, or take underneath the knee. We'll sit up nice and tall. Then drop your chin to your chest. So you should feel some sensation in the outer hips. Then look forward. Right hand takes a hold of that knee, left hand behind you, and you add a twist. Make sure you're sitting forward on the hips and not leaning back. Then face forward, and we take it into a fold. So if you do have one straight leg out in front of you, you'll feel this a little bit more in the hamstring than if you have the double bind, you'll feel it in your hips. Then walk back up. So if you have a bottom leg that's straight, stay. We'll all find a straight bottom right leg. Here's where we get into the IT band once again. We take the right foot and slide it as much as you can over towards the left so it's on an angle. Press out through the pinky side of the foot. So I'm pressing the pinky toe towards the top of the mat. Sit tall, and then as you walk out, you'll take your torso towards the right. And you should feel that in your IT band. Walk everything back to center. Left leg will straighten, a bounce, and then roll yourself forward. Find your high plank pose, to low plank, to upward face, and downward dog. And then come to sit. Straighten the legs. And now we take the right knee and stack it on top of the left one. And if you had the double bind, you bring the left foot across. Hold under the knee if you've got a straight leg, or take a hold of both of your feet. Make sure you're slightly leaning forward on the hips and not rocking back. Tuck your chin to your chest. And then look forward, we'll add the twist. Left hand scoops under the knee, right hand back, twisting right. Then come forward and take your fold. Again, if your bottom leg is straight, you'll feel this possibly more in the hamstring than in the hip. Come on up. Bottom left leg straight. Keep the right knee bent. Slide the left foot towards the right. Press out through the pinky toe. Sit tall. Lean out. But then take it to the left with your torso. Back to center. The legs out in front of you. Give them a shake. And let's take our very final vinyasa. Come forward. Plant the palms. Step back. Low plank. Up dog. Down dog. And then come to sit and onto your back. I have one final stretch for you to close the practice out. Hug the knees in, give a rock side to side. Now we're going to keep the right knee hugging in, let the left leg go long. Spinal twist, so the knee crosses midline. And how we get into the outside of the leg is by straightening that leg off the side of the mat. Your gaze can go right. Then come back to center. Let's hug that left knee in, right leg long. Then take the left knee across your body, twist, and getting into the outer part of the leg, you straighten the leg out. Gaze left. And come back to center. Let's straighten both legs into the air. Give them a little twist at the ankle. Spread the toes. We'll end with a happy baby. Bend the knees. You can take the feet or behind your thighs. Couple rocks. And then hug in. And come up to sit. So there you have it. 20-minute flow. I hope you liked the video. If you haven't yet subscribed, please think about doing it. The button right there below. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you'll be doing. Namaste.